Almost all of them were massacred in a swift, violent attack. Hey everybody, this is Colonel Carson with Family Tree Nuts, and I'm in Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park, just south of London, Kentucky and Laurel County. And I'm at the site of what became known as McNitt'S defeat. This spot was right on Boon Trace and the Wilderness Road, a road that between 1775 and 1805, approximately 300,000 of our ancestors passed right through. It is said that today, over 50 million of us are descended from those people that first poured into Kentucky through the Cumberland Gap. The McNitt Company was a company that was formed in Virginia and was a group of settlers that traveled together for safety. The year was 1786, 11 years after the first pioneers came and settled into Kentucky. There were Native American attacks in the area, but not near as many as there had been in the first few years of settlement. The McNitt Company had been traveling for weeks and had already made it through the most dangerous part of the journey. They were only about 40 miles or 1 or 2 days journey from the safety and security of the settlement of Crab Orchard. On October the 3rd, 1786, the McNitt Company came to this location right here and bedded down for the night. They felt that they were out of danger and they didn't post a guard. I can't tell you about the times that I've heard of horrible things that happened to our pioneer ancestors that began with, they didn't post a guard. While the settlers were sleeping in the wee hours of the morning, they were attacked by a band of Native Americans. It was mass chaos. Many of the pioneers fled into the forest. But when the attack was over, 24 of the settlers had perished right here at this location. One of the settlers that fled into the woods was a young pregnant woman. She ran into the darkness right up this hillside here. She found a hollow log to hide in, but the stress of the event caused her to go into labor. And right there in that hollowed log, she gave birth to a baby girl. That tree stood for years, and eventually the stump was left behind as a remembrance of the event. Today, a circular stone fence commemorates where the stump once stood, with a nice plaque to identify what happened here. The survivors buried the 24 dead companions right here in this cemetery. You can see that their graves are identified by just rocks. It's humbling to see these stones, and seeing them causes one to really think about the things that our pioneer ancestors went through. They left everything they had behind in search of a new life in a new land. They risked everything to get here. So many of them died along the way. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, they shouldn't have been here anyway. What about the Native Americans? History is full of tragedy on both sides as far as we go back. At Family Tree Nuts, we never condone one killing for another, one evil for another. We just try to tell the story how it happened. And this horrific story needs to be remembered. After the mourning settlers had buried their friends, they headed the rest of the way to seek refuge in Crab Orchard. And then they ventured to Fort Logan, where the goods of the fallen were auctioned off for the well-being of the survivors. So, I wanted to take you to the site of this horrific event called McNitt'S defeat, where 24 of our pioneer ancestors were slaughtered right here. We should always remember them. We should never forget them. And remember, Family Tree Nuts, let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.